This is a photo of me from college. When I was in school, I thought all I needed to do was work hard, get a return offer, and then my life would be all set. But 2 years after graduation and having a full-time corporate job, I realized I was wrong. Today, I will share with you how I plan to reinvent my life and achieve financial freedom in my 20s. And if you're new here, my name is Love and welcome to Love's Wallet. Every week, I like to post a video about personal finance, money, business, and even self-development. For step number 1, I plan on becoming emotionally responsible. When it comes to personal finance, it's important to remember to not overcomplicate it. Personal finance is really just developing a strategy and then controlling your emotions. And when you break it down further, 20% of that is to the strategy and the other 80% is focusing on your emotions. A lot of times in life, we have a fear of missing out on things. For example, when you're young and you see your friends going on trips and buying things, you yourself want to do the same things, even if you don't have the financial means to do so. And the main reason for this is because you feel as if you're missing out. Yet you're young and you have your whole life to travel and buy things. And the same is true when it comes to personal finance. Every time you're on social media or watching the news, you always see someone that's doing better than you financially. They have their own business. Their stock return got 100%, or they even put all their money in the latest crypto meme coin and they got millions of dollars. And a lot of times when you see this, again, you have a fear of missing out. And as a result, you start to take money away from your own investments or yourself, and you start to place it in a crypto or in real estate or in a business that you have no expertise or experience in. One of my favorite quotes from Warren Buffett is when he lectures at business schools and says, "I could improve your ultimate financial welfare by giving you a ticket with only 20 slots in it so that you had 20 punches, representing all the investments that you got to make in a lifetime. And once you punch through all 20 of those slots, you can no longer make any more investments throughout your life." And then he goes on to say that under those rules, you would really think carefully about what you did and you would be forced to load up on what you really thought about. And so you would do much better. When it comes to personal finance, you have to block out the noise and the critics. Focus on a strategy that works for you and your lifestyle. And once you dial that down, the hardest part is just controlling your emotions. And for 2024, I plan to develop my own personal finance goals that work for me personally, and then just be consistent to that specific strategy. By being selective on my investments and hyper focusing on them, I will get much further in life than switching from one strategy to the next throughout the year. And remember, there is no need to deviate from your plan or chase trends, because personal finance is 80% about controlling your emotions and the other 20% about developing a solid strategy. For step number 2, I plan on investing less in stocks and mutual funds, but instead investing in myself. When I was in college, and even when I first started getting into personal finance, one of the key things that most people talked about was buying assets. And the main reason for this is because you want your money to be making more money while you do nothing. And the easiest way for your money to do this is by putting it in stocks and mutual funds. But soon after a year of working, I realized that for any person out of college, they should not actually focus on investing their money, but instead investing in themselves. Now, the main reason for this is because more than most likely when you're fresh out of college, you're making anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000. After taxes, rent, retirement accounts, you don't have enough money to put towards actual investments. But if you think about that for a second, 10% of $1,000 is only $100. So your return is going to be small. However, if you had $100,000 to invest, 10% is pretty good because now you have $10,000 in profit for the year. So instead of using that small amount of money and investing it in stocks or mutual funds, I plan on pouring that back into myself and finding a side hustle or business or another stream of income so I can generate more money and then invest a larger amount of money. And by focusing on increasing your income, you now have more disposable money, which means you can invest more. A common reason why people struggle with budgeting is because of 2 reasons. They're either not making enough or they're spending too much. Again, budgeting is simply income minus your expenses. So when you look at that equation, you can either increase your income or you can decrease your expenses. However, there's a limit to how much you can decrease when it comes to your expenses, because again, you have to pay for rent, you have to pay for groceries. Those are non-negotiables. However, when it comes to your income, it's unlimited. If you get a side hustle or you start a business, you can now earn more and more money. And if you keep your expenses really low, you now have more money at the end of the month. And with that money, you can now put it to stocks, mutual funds, real estate, or any other asset to help your money grow. While compared to a job, You're capped at a limit based on your salary or your hourly wage, and essentially you're just renting out your time. Whether it's improving your skill set and getting a higher paying job, or starting a side hustle or a business, you need to focus on using any extra money you have by pouring that back into yourself and finding a way to increase your earning potential. For step number 3, I plan on automating my finances. One of the key things I did after graduating and I was in my first corporate job, I made sure to track every single dollar. I mean like every single dollar. I had an entire spreadsheet of all my expenses and income, and every week I would update it. However, after a year or so of doing that, I now realize that's not sustainable for me. First, I want to automate my budget so I can free up time for me to focus on things that matter, such as improving my skill set or making more content. And then the other reason is because by automating my budget, I essentially automate my personal finance strategy. The easiest way to think about this is that when I get paid, I set up automatic transfers to specific accounts that fit my personal finance strategy. I have some money going to my retirement account, some money going to my savings, and then another portion of that money paying off any bills, such as credit card debt or student loan debt. And then any remaining money simply stays in my check account, and with that chunk of money alone, I know that's how much money I have left to spend until my next paycheck. Again, by automating this budget every month, I'm making sure that I hit my personal finance goals because again, it's happening every single month throughout the year, but also I'm able to free up time and not think about my personal finances 24/7 and instead can focus on different things. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to hit me with a like or subscribe. I would really appreciate it as it would help the video and even my channel. And also, if you're interested, I have a weekly newsletter that goes out where I share my thoughts around business, money, and personal finance. I'll see y'all next week.